Hey Jackals! In this video we'll make an animated thermometer that will also display the degrees and an icon, which I don't have at the moment. Now let's get digital. So if I split this effect into bite-sized chunks, we have the background, we have the temperature indicator, we have the temperature text, and we'll have the icon, which I don't have at the moment. So let's make the effect from the beginning. Go to the media pool, right click, make a new fusion composition, give it a name if you want, change the duration if you want, make it and put it onto the timeline, put the playhead over it, select it, and go into the fusion page. Now you can use these shapes, the rectangle, the ellipse, and the polygon, or you can use the shape nodes, which you can also find under the effects, tools, and shapes. And if you want to know how to make a custom toolbar inside the fusion page, I also have a video on that. So the first thing that I'll do is add the background and the shape, so I can have a solid color. Maybe adjust the current radius a little bit, and I can change the color to anything that I want. This can be a solid color, it can be a gradient, maybe something like that. But what you can also do is use an image. I already have one inside the media pool. Connect the rectangle to the media in. But if you use the media in, you won't be able to use this effect inside another project. You'll only be able to use this effect in the project that you make it in. So instead of the media in, use Ctrl space to open the select tools, type in loader, then find the image that you want to use, and always keep this image in the same place. Then simply open it and connect it instead of the media in. So I have this done. What I could also do is add some shadow maybe, or an outline to this. To do that, I would use this rectangle because it has the same shape and size. And actually, I would simply copy it, right click and paste an instance of it, because if I change the shape, these rectangles will be the same. So I don't have to change each one individually. I would then uncheck the border width in the new one. Uncheck, right click and de-instance it, because if I don't, it will also change the border width of this one. And then I can simply use another background node, connect it like so, and simply adjust the border width. And also I have to uncheck the solid or de-instance it, so right click the instance, and then I uncheck it. Now as you can see, the background and the outline are not lined up, and that's because this is the actual size and I want this composition to be at 1080p. Now this is the size of the image, so what I can do is simply select the image, use the resize node, and this will automatically put it at 1080p. And the background and the outline will be lined up. So I can now simply change the color to anything that I want. So this is now done. I can select all of the nodes and group them up, Ctrl G. And what I'll do now is make the indicator for the temperature. And to do that, I'll use rectangle and an ellipse, but the shape nodes, and I'll be combining them with an S boolean, and you can simply connect them like so, not even with the merge, because this is still a shape node. You have to use the S render node, and once you do, you can then connect it. Now the S ellipse, I'll scale this down, put in equals to the width or the height, connect the plus to the height or the width, depending on which one you chose, and then you can simply scale this down and adjust the position. And as for the rectangle, I can't see it at the moment, so select the S boolean and select union. Then in the S rectangle, I'll simply scale the width, maybe 0.25. Let's go also 0.25 for height, and I'll adjust the current radius to 1, so that this is nice and round. Now if I want to change the color of this, I would have to go to the S boolean, style, and maybe this will be the background color of this element. Now I can also add some outline to this, so I can use an outline. I'll simply connect it, and I'll use another render node and connect it at the top. but now this is the same as this one, so I have to use a background node so that I can actually see what's what. And now I can adjust the thickness. If I wanted to animate this, I could also do that. And now I can also change the color of this to what I want. Now the thing that you want to do is to fill this indicator in with another color. So we'll use rectangle, then we need the background node, and we'll change the color to... Now we'll simply connect this as render node to the background. This should give us this shape, and we simply change the color of it. Now we'll merge it. This is on top, as you can see. And then we'll use a rectangle and connect it to the mask of the merge, and we'll be animating it so that it fills up all the way. Now the easiest way that I have found to make this automatic is not to use the rectangle like so, but actually increase it in size so that once you have the center position below the bottom point, it also covers the whole screen. So in this case, I'll just adjust the height to 1. And in this case, I'll just make the Y value to be 0.23. So this will be my maximum value. And the minimum value will be, let's see, minus 0.23. Now I'll adjust between these two values, minus 0.23 and 0.23 is with the custom tool. And I'll use a slider that will basically go from 0 to 100, but you could also use this in maybe the rectangle by going to edit controls and make a new slider control. So this would be a number, you would give it a name, choose a slider, maybe the steps would be as 1, so this will be a full degree. And you could also set range to be from 0 to 100. And you would also choose the control tab so that this new control that you would add would appear below the angle. I'll simply use the custom tool and I'll use the number in 1. And this is the expression that I'll use, but I'll have to tweak it a little bit. So I'll type in equals, delete everything and paste the expression. Now the expression that I use is this one. We get a point, the x value is 0.5, and the custom tool number in 1 we get from here, which is this value, when we animate this from 0, let's say from frame 10, this is 0, keyframe it, frame 40, and set the value to 100, and we'll get the animation. Now we'll add the text. So add a text node, we'll set this as an expression. Now because I went from 0 to 100 in the custom tool, this can simply be used as a degrees, the Celsius. So in the text node, I can simply type in custom tool 1 dot number in 1, and this will give me the value. And if I add two dots, quotation marks, and degrees Celsius, or Fahrenheit, if that is what I wanted, this will add the text to the end of the number. And if you want to add space, simply add space here. And in the layout, we can simply position the text to where we want it to be. This could be at the top, this could be at the bottom. Now we have something funky going on. So how can we fix this? We can fix it easily. So in the text, I'll simply type in floor and put this in brackets. And what the floor function does is it simply rounds the value down. So we now always have a full number. And now because this is in Celsius, what if you want to have this in Fahrenheit? I'll simply type in F here. And for this equation, we actually have to use the equation that is used for Fahrenheit. So for the Fahrenheit, we have Celsius, which in this case is custom tool 1 number in 1 multiplied by 9 divided by 5, and we add 32. Go to the text. So this is the C, and I'll simply multiply and paste this in. and add another bracket here, and this is the equation. So this looks nice, and the final thing that we can add is all kinds of weather icons. The simplest one would be the sun, so we can use an ellipse, and I'll just use this ellipse. So add the merge node, we'll put it in the back, but we need to use some color with it. So I'll make this yellow, adjust the width and the height, and then I'll simply use a transform node to position it like so. And in case I want to animate it, I can simply do it like this, or I could also adjust the pivot point to make a different kind of animation. And that's it. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to get DaVinci Resolve and video editing content twice a week, and hit the bell notification icon so you know when my next video comes out. I'm Simon, and until next time, jackals, keep it digital.